Hey everybody, T-Man again, bringing you guys another video, and this is going to be my Fastlane preview and prediction video where I'll discuss each match on the card and giving you what I think will happen in that particular match. So here we are, the last pay-per-view before WrestleMania 31, and in my opinion, the pay-per-view before WrestleMania is always a very awkward, weird pay-per-view because, some of the WrestleMania storylines have started and some of them hasn't started. So we have a lot of top names right now kind of in limbo. For instance, Seth Rollins, who's going to be working with Randy Orton at WrestleMania. He's kind of in limbo. At least they threw him in this pay-per-view in this six-man tag I'll be talking about in this video. Bray Wyatt, another top name who's not really having something to do right now. Randy Orton has been working house shows but hasn't been brought on yet on TV because they're waiting till either Fastlane or the night after Fastlane on Monday Night Raw to bring him back to start the storyline with Seth Rollins. So he's in limbo. Same thing with Sheamus. They don't want to bring him back too soon. So it's a very awkward pay-per-view in my opinion. And some matches are just thrown together. And let's start from the top. I want to start from the main event on. Give the Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan match its full attention it deserves. And I'll tell you, I'll tell you right from the get-go. When the Royal Rumble first took place, I could guarantee you, before that Royal Rumble started, an hour before the pay-per-view, there was no plans at Fastlane to have Roman Reigns face Daniel Bryan. Now, what do I think's going to happen in this match is, I think after all the crowd response and everything, I think Daniel Bryan will be involved in this heavyweight title match at WrestleMania. And do I think it's a mistake or not? There's no doubt about it, and I've said it in many of my videos since the Royal Rumble. They booked that Royal Rumble very, very poorly, very wrong. And the way Roman Reigns won was bad writing, and they really set Roman Reigns up to fail. However, I do think Roman Reigns was the right choice. I think they booked it wrong, and I think they put the fans in a position where they booed Roman Reigns, because of the bad booking. But right now, them making I think they should have stuck to their guns with the Roman and Brock, because that next night on Raw, when they shot it in Stamford at their headquarters, you saw that stare down between Brock and Roman, and it made me pumped up. And then you heard rumors of Ziggler and Daniel Bryan having a match at WrestleMania, and that match would have stole the show. And I think that would have gave the Daniel Bryan fans, seeing him steal the show at WrestleMania, it would have made things okay. To the fans and everything, they changed the main event, and I'm okay with Daniel Bryan if he would have faced Brock Lesnar one-on-one, because I think they could have told an amazing story, the ultimate underdog against the ultimate badass. But what I've been hearing is we're going to see a triple threat match at WrestleMania between Daniel Bryan, Roman Reigns, and Brock Lesnar. And it's just real crazy where we're in right now. Like, I kind of like it in a way, because mostly every WrestleMania is very predictable. You kind of know where they're going to go every year. Even last year, you knew somehow Daniel Bryan was going to end that night at WrestleMania with the title. You knew that was going to happen last year. This year, I think it's going to be the same thing. I mean, if you throw Daniel Bryan in the in a triple threat match at WrestleMania, you have to give him the belt, or the crowd's just going to go ape shit. They're going to go bonkers. I don't think they would be putting Daniel Bryan in this situation, in this match with Roman, or even tease the idea of him in the main event if it wasn't going to happen. Because, I mean, you saw what happened at the Royal Rumble. I don't think they would put themselves in that situation. Now, what will happen in this match at Fastlane? Any number of things could happen. One, we won't get an outcome. And it might be a double DQ, or Brock Lesnar will come and just F5 both of them. I could see something like that happening. I could see Daniel Bryan beating Roman Reigns straight up. Roman coming off as a heel. In the upcoming Raws, I could see Paul Heyman turning on Brock and joining Roman. That's been discussed many times, and a very hot rumor. Could see that happening, but then there's also been rumors lately that Brock is going to stay with WWE. So this whole title situation is very, very interesting. And there's 2 matches on this card where I don't know where they're going to go. And that's the Roman, Bryan, and Cena and Rusev. And I'll talk about the Cena and Rusev. But if you want my prediction on Bryan Roman Reigns, I think we're going to see a no finish. Or I think we're going to see Daniel Bryan beating Roman Reigns. I don't see Roman Reigns beating Daniel Bryan straight up. I think fans would be too mad and too outraged by that. And I don't know what they would do. And another thing, a part of me would like if they just wanted to throw the fans off on the Dolph Ziggler and Daniel Bryan if they would have Ziggler interfere, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think Ziggler is going to face Ambrose at Mania, and I'm going to get into that on this card too. So let's move down the card. That's what I think of the Daniel Bryan Roman Reigns. So then we have Cesaro and Rusev. Cesaro and Rusev for the United States title. As if you guys seen my videos, you know that I love what they're doing with the United States title. Rusev has been a great U.S. champion in my opinion. It's given that title some prestige that title desperately deserves, and having it him defending it against one of the top names in the business, John Cena, like him or not, there's no doubt about it. You cannot deny that John Cena is a legend in the sport, and competing for the U.S. title, I like that. It means there is no name bigger than the belt. And, back in the days of the U.S. title, you would have a lot of former NWA, WCW champions as U.S. champions. So it's not a demotion to Cena or whatever. It's building that title back up. Now, what do I think is going to happen in this particular match? Well, the rumor has been for a long time that Cena and Rusev was going to wrestle at WrestleMania. So this Fastlane match is giving a lot of people a curveball. Now, I think this is going to go one or two ways here. I think, again, we're not going to see a finish in this match, or we're going to see Rusev win in some controversial faction and whatever, and set up that match where Cena, I think he ultimately is going to go over and win this belt. But I think that's probably going to happen at Mania, unless WWE is going to surprise us altogether, which I doubt it. I would love, I want to be surprised in wrestling again, guys. I want to be surprised again. Nothing really shocks me too much anymore. I would love to be surprised and shocked. If they ended this rivalry at Fastlane. Now, holy shit, what's Cena going to do at Mania and make everybody wonder? But I don't think that'll happen. I think we're going to get a no finish or a controversial Rusev win and continue the match at Mania. Wouldn't it be cool, though, if Cena won or something like that, and then we see Cena Rock 3? But I doubt it. I don't think that'll happen. I think it's still going to be Cena Rusev as planned at Mania. I think we're going to get like some sort of brawl or something, and a no finish or a controversial Rusev finish. Moving on, tag team titles match: Cesaro and Tyson Kidd versus the Usos. Even though they have been giving Cesaro and Tyson Kidd a push, I would love it if they won the titles. Absolutely love it. But I don't think that's going to happen. I think the Usos are going to win, because I ultimately think at Mania we're going to see the Ascension versus the Usos. I have a feeling that's going to happen. I would love it if Cesaro and Tyson Kidd won, but I think the Usos are going to win. Moving on from there, we have Dean Ambrose versus Bad News Barrett. God, I feel so bad for Bad News Barrett, guys. Since he's won the IC title, I've never seen a champion, unless it was a deliberate storyline, lose every single match. Every single match. I mean, he's looked like the weakest Intercontinental champion ever. I understand, you can make up lose non-title matches, but he loses every non-title match. And SmackDown, I told you guys I was going to do a SmackDown review. Go on my Twitter, @Expert of Pro Wrestling. You will see I just tweeted the review. Z's. I slept. It was boring. I just couldn't get into it, SmackDown. I do want to go back on YouTube and watch the Seth Rollins Dolph Ziggler match, because I'm a fan of those guys in ring work, and I kind of turned it off maybe a half hour before that match. But Bad News Barrett. I love that guy. I think he's a great talent and stuff. But I think Dean Ambrose was going to win, and I love Dean Ambrose. Dean Ambrose should win because I think the whole reason why Dean Ambrose is going to win is because I think we're going to see Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler at WrestleMania for the Intercontinental title, and I love that. That reminds me of the old days when you get two good workers wrestling for the Intercontinental title. That is old school in my opinion. I mean, you think about the days of great WrestleMania Intercontinental title matches. I mean, I think of obviously Ricky Steamboat, Macho Man Randy Savage. I think of Honky Tonk Brutus Beefcake, I believe at WrestleMania 4. I think of Ultimate Warrior and Ravishing Rick at WrestleMania 5. You know, I think of so many great matches. I think of Regal and Jericho at, I believe, 17. You know, there's so many great Intercontinental title matches over the years. Bret Hart, Rowdy Piper, WrestleMania 8. I mean, the list goes on. And how about the epic ladder match at WrestleMania 10 between Bret Hart and Razor? I mean, it's just endless. Having two guys that could work competing for the Intercontinental title, that's what it's all about. And I believe Dean Ambrose and Dolph Ziggler, if that is what they're going to do, is going to steal the show at WrestleMania and put on a hell of a match. Moving on from there, Sting and Triple H. Now this is going to, I think a lot of people are going to be mad because I think WWE is confusing a lot of people, and I think a lot at the way they're promoting this, I think a lot of people think they're actually going to have a wrestling match. They're not having a wrestling match, guys. Like this, I mean, the way they've been wording it, the face-to-face, and are you going to meet me at Fastlane, the way they've been booking it and promoting it, it's almost like they're having a match. And I think they've gone around it and kind of promoted it in a misleading way, where I've talked to a lot of people, and they actually, including my wife, she's thinking they're having a match, and I'm like, no, he just wants to meet him face to face to run him out of the business. It's not a match. The match is going to happen at WrestleMania. So it's kind of misleading. So obviously they're going to get into it, and obviously Sting's not going to go away, and it's going to lead to the match at WrestleMania, obviously, even though a lot of people think the match is going to happen there. Of course, they're probably going to tussle. Sting's probably going to do a Scorpion Death Drop, or something's probably going to happen there, or Sting might get the upper hand, and then Sting might come out the next night on Raw. No doubt about it, the next night on Raw is going to be a great Raw. We're probably going to get a lot of comebacks. We're going to get a really good episode of the night. At the first Monday Night Raw on the road to WrestleMania is usually always a good one. Moving on from there, Nikki and Paige. Guys, if you watch all my pay-per-view preview and prediction videos, you would see that I'm right about 90% of the stuff I predict on. Almost everything. I miss a couple things here and there, but the one thing I seem to always been wrong about is the Divas, because I guess I don't really know, you know? I mean, with the Divas, it could go either way, you know? Nikki could retain the title, but, you know, obviously I think Paige is so hot, physically, and if you guys watch my videos, you know I'm a big Paige fan. But no, I think Paige is going to win this match. I think they're going to give the strap back to Paige. But I wouldn't be surprised if Nikki retains it and they do something with it at WrestleMania 2. But if you're making me pick somebody, I would say Paige. Moving on from there, we got a 6-man tag team match, just to give the top guys something to do. Seth Rollins, Kane, and Big Show, they have already taken on Ziggler, Ryback, and Eric Rowan, continuing from the November storyline from Survivor Series. I think Ziggler, Ryback, and Eric Rowan is probably going to win the match. We might maybe get an interference from Randy Orton, but I think they're probably going to save that for Raw to get some ratings or whatever. I think Randy Orton will interfere with Seth Rollins' match or whatever on Raw, but it would be kind of cool if they did that at Fastlane. Goldust versus Stardust. I think Stardust is going to win that match, and ultimately, hopefully, that'll lead to WrestleMania, where I would love to see Goldust get his WrestleMania moment, even if it's in the pre-show. The character has been around for 20 years, guys. The character Goldust has been around since '95. Dustin Rhodes deserves it. This is his last hurrah. He's going to be an agent, a road agent for WWE after WrestleMania. I would like to see Stardust win this Fastlane match. Goalless get the revenge and ride off into the sunset at Mania. That is what I think of Fastlane. If I'm wrong on every single one, I wouldn't be surprised because, like I said, this pay-per-view before WrestleMania, it's a pretty tricky one. Anyways, guys, this will conclude my video. Monday, I will be shooting out a couple discussion videos. Monday, I'll be doing my review of Fastlane, and tonight, I am going to a special event that Vince Russo is hosting with Melissa Santos from Lucha Underground in the LA area. I bought my tickets for that. It's a dinner with about 15 people, then a Q&A after that dinner, and I wrote down about 15 to 20 questions down for Vince Russo. I'm on if he answers every question of those, I will maybe depending how that go, maybe I'll do a review. I try to come up with questions that a lot of people maybe have not asked. You know, a lot of people bury him when it comes down to WCW. How did you kill the company? I'm not doing that. You know, I'm answering. I'm going to ask questions that are intelligent and maybe has not been asked a lot. At this point, I'm sure he's been asked everything under the sun, but I'm going to try to ask him some interesting questions. And the same with Melissa Santos. For you Lucha Underground questions, I'll ask a few Lucha Underground questions, and maybe I'll do a review on that dinner and Q&A on Monday, depending on how that goes. So until my next video, guys, take care, and I will see you for the next video.